Welcome back, and if this is your first time visiting my YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified each time I drop a new video. So you can check out other videos, and don't forget to drop a comment if you find them helpful. In the description of each video, I put a link to connect with me on WhatsApp. You can reach out to me if you have any issues regarding any of the videos, and also use the link there to also check out some of my Instagram posts. You would find them helpful. So in today's tutorial, I will be replicating this design. So let's get started. So the first thing we need is to import our background picture. So actually I've downloaded the picture online, but you need to edit it. I would put the link in the description box to download the background, and I'll leave the background in raw format and after editing it, so you can decide to edit it yourself or use the edited background. So the first thing is to make it in a square sized. Then we'll come to this part here. You come to sharpen, you drag that to the end there. The A's, you just touch that a little bit. The contrasts, you increase it. Then highlights, reduce it this way. White. So I think this is okay. Then you save your design. So it's the edited background you'll be using and the design we'll be creating. So moving on to PixelLab. So the first thing is to import our background. So we have our background imported. Let's hide this. So we move on to add a shape. So it will be in color black. So it's the shape that would prevent the background from being visible. So you can also lock that. Then you add the text there. So the major text with the edit is the August text there. So yes, so you can use any font, but it's advisable you use a long font like Oswald, Baby Snowy. I think those are long fonts you can make use of, but I'll be making use of Oswald in this video. So let's see, Oswald regular. Then we'll be increasing the size. Then you reduce the spacing. You want to make the text as close to one another as they can be. So okay, let me put this on to make reference. So you can as well do the same thing. Have the picture in the background, so you can use it as reference to get the exact size. So yeah, I think we're okay with that. So what you do now is, so what you do now is you duplicate this. You can hide this for now. Then this text you have here, you want to change it to a shape, so you can just do that by merging it with any other shape, or you duplicate and merge it together. So okay, I think I've selected the wrong layer. So all I just did is I duplicated the August text. I want to change it from being a text to a shape. So as you can see now, it's a shape, so you can easily stretch it. So you can see, so it needs to be longer. Yeah, so you have this. Then keep in mind the other text we have here. So you might just hide this. Then what you need to do is duplicate this text that you've turned to a shape. Then you rotate it by coming to crop. Then tap on this here, so it's inverted this way. So you now move on to using the perspective tool. So for a start, since we'll still be increasing the size, so you can give it enough perspective effect. You can reduce the size. So let me just make reference to the size here. This 53. So you reduce this, make sure they have the same size. Okay, can get with 3, but I think this is close enough. Then we move on to using the perspective tool. So you put on a perspective tool, so you can make use of your grid lines here, so you can easily see what you're doing. So I think something like this is okay. So we can change this grid settings to, let's say, 20 20. So it's splitted, so you can just use any of those points there as a reference. So you can put on the magnets. Okay, let me come again what I did there. Okay, let me just undo. Let me start again with that. So like I said after getting the size and you want to move on to the perspective tool, you need to put on your grid lines. So the perspective effect you are giving it would be equal on both sides. So you put it on, then you come to your grid lines, you tap this place, this part here, then you come to this part, then you can change it to, let's say, 20 and 20. Then you can put on the magnet, as you can see it's on here. Then you move it now, drag the perspective to, so you can pick a particular point. You can also zoom if you are not seeing what you are doing. Then you just try to pinpoint it there. Yeah, I think it's okay this way. So you do the same thing to the other side. So let's check. Okay, it's the second one. So you do the same thing to this other side. So yeah, I think we are done with that. Let's see what we have. So this is what we have. Let's see. So from what I can say, you can say it's too wide or you can leave it that way. But I think it's okay this way. So the next thing we'll do is you save it as an image. Probably let's save it as a transparent. Okay, we won't do that. So let's just save it as an image this way. So just in case there's a mistake and you want to come back to it, because we'll be merging the two shapes together, then you can also save it as a project. So in case you'll be making reference to what we've done before, you save it as a project. Yeah, so next thing you do is you merge it together. But for safety purpose, let me just duplicate one of them. And let's merge the other two texts together. One is the one with the inverted, with the perspective effect, and this other one that was stretched. So these are both of them. You merge them together, then you have a single shape as this. So if you are okay with the size, you can leave it. And if you're not okay with the size, you can increase it. But I think I would just make do with this size. Yeah, I think we'll make do with this size. Then one thing, let's also check, is it proper? Yeah, it's kind of aligned with the background, so we have no issue with that. So before merging, you can check if the perspective effect you are giving it, if it's enough, so probably rhyme with the background. So since that's settled, you do what, you merge the, I'm properly okay. Hold on, let me check. I think I'll be placing it here like this. So you check the placement before you merge it together. So I think it's okay this way. So all you need to do is merge the black overlay and the merge shape, the August text. So you merge them together. So after merging, you do what, you come to erase color. Okay, not erase color, you come to erase color, then the erase color white. So automatically it will erase color white. So you can just drag it to the end, then you do what, you reduce the opacity. So you reduce the opacity. So let's say something like 76. I think it's okay this way. So you can now make further edits with the background, like contrast something. So I think it's okay this way. We'll be editing the background later on. So the next thing is what we imported the other time. So we need to add a little bit of white stroke. So what we have there. So what we should do is first let's erase the black background from what we've imported. So you erase the black background, then you erase the color white background. The color of the text is white, so let me come again. So initially, when you tap on erase color, it's the default color there is usually white, but you tap on the color picker and you pick black to erase the background. You can drag this to the end, then you tap on this plus icon here, then it also picks white, and you cannot reduce the tolerance for white. Yeah, you can reduce the tolerance for white, and that's it. Then you increase the size. So you increase the size and make sure it's matching up with the August text you have there already. So yeah, I think it's matching. So all you need to do is take it to the back. Let it be at the back of the actual text there, this way. Then you make further adjustments that make sure it's not too visible. Then we don't need the white stroke at the bottom part. That is where you use perspective tool. So you come to eraser, you tap on this part here, then you tap on this shape here to select the square. Then you carefully mark it out. Then you tap on this, it has erased that part. So you can see the stroke at the bottom part is no longer showing. So you can then decide to reduce the opacity as it's getting so much attention. So I think we are okay with this. Let's just make further adjustments. So I think this is okay. Then you lock it. So this is what we have. And so you can then increase the brightness background. Yeah. So you settle this. The next thing is to add the next text here, which is new month. So for new month, you can also use okay, no, happy new month, sorry. Happy new month. Then the font to be using as Oswald. Use Oswald too, or any other font, but it's advisable to use a long font because August is a long word. So if you're using a font that has much weight, it might not really come out nice. Might be too big, so just use a long font. Okay, let's try Oswald bold. Yeah, so just like the other ones, you also do what you make use of the perspective too. So you might need to zoom in. Then we make okay, sorry, so you can just drag this. So keep in mind wherever it is you are dragging the point, so that's where you'll be dragging it to at the other side. So from what I did there, I think it's just 1 point away. So let's see. Are they matching? Okay, let's reduce the size and see what we have. Yeah, I think it's matching. Yeah, it's matching. And if there's other adjustments, you can make the adjustment. So what you do next is the actual shape here. You'd increase the opacity back to 100. Be sure we are okay with the size before you do the next thing. So make sure it's centralized. Yeah, so let me see. Okay, yeah. So the next thing you do is what? Merge it. This one is the one with the actual color. If you check it, let's see. This one is the stroke. This is the one with the background. So this one with the background you'll be merging with Happy New Month. So you'll be merging it. So before you merge, you can always save as project. So in case there's any mistake, you can always go back to it. Then come to erase color, you erase white, then you can drag it down. Yeah, so you have this. So the next thing is you lock that in 2, then you reduce the opacity. So you are basically done with the major work there. So the next thing is to import the picture I used there. I'll be providing a link in the description to download the PNG image I used there. So here's the image. It has a shadow already, but you'd also be adding an extra shadow for to make it more realistic. So I think this is okay. Then for the shadows will be adding, you'd search for, I'll provide the link, but if you want to get these things, it's called the drop shadow. So you just search for drop shadow. I can search for something like a round drop shadow PNG. So let me see. Okay, yes, it's so you can see how it looked like. So you reduce the size, then you have it at the bottom of the picture. Just to lay emphasis, there's a shadow there already, but just to make it look more realistic. So for this picture here, you duplicate it, change it to black, then you come to shadow, you put it on, make sure the shadow is black, then the blur radius to increase it. Then what you do next is you need to turn this also to a shape. So to do that, you can just merge it with anything, but and this way just duplicate, centralize it, and merge it together. So the essence of this is just to make that shadow more realistic. Then you come to your crop here, you invert the direction of the crop. So you then come to perspective, you put it on, then you so we have, so you make sure it's under this picture here, so it's not still looking good. So you can then reduce the opacity a little bit, something. So you're trying to adjust and make the shadow look realistic. So let me zoom in so I can see what's going on there properly. Okay, for the shadow, yeah, you might just have to erase some parts. I think it should be this angle. Oh, it's the other side. So instead of using a sharp eraser, this second slider, drag it down so to make the edges of the eraser soft. Trying to check which parts I'm to erase. Okay, yeah, so I think we are okay with that. And that's all for that. So for the picture here, we might also want to increase the opacity a little bit. Yeah, so the next thing there is think, let me check. Welcome to, and my logo. If you have a logo you want to add, so you add the next text. we'll come to, so the font I used is let me see, I think the only font is Honey. This is it here. Can't really see it. I think it's Honey or something. So you give it color yellow, something like yellow, so orange. Then the padding, so the hidden side of the text can be visible. So you are actually done with the first part of the editing. So you can then save your design. Then we move to the second part. So you save as project, save as image. So to increase the quality of what you are saving, I don't know if you observe this working with shapes like black, it's always have a weird look when you save. So you can increase the 5,000 by 5,000 just to increase the quality when you are saving. So you save it as an image. So when you increase the design size, it takes time to save. And you also save as projects. I just save its any name. So let me just save the name August. Then you move on to, okay, let's check what we have in our gallery. So this is what we have. So move on to editing. It's in another app, that's Photoshop Express app. In one of my old videos, I dropped a video, and in the description of the video I put a link where you can download this application and other mod apps for free. It's also very easy to get them yourself. Just go on your Google Chrome and search for the application name, then you add mod APK at the back of it. You find lots of websites where you can download them from, but a very good website is APK Dome. So that if you want to get it yourself. So the next, there are lots of effects on this Photoshop Express app. You can play around with it. It's a theme of choice. So you come to sharpen, then DAs, just a little bit of DAs, then exposure a little bit. Let's see, okay, I think this is okay. Contrast, a little bit of contrast. Okay, then okay, I think we are done. Okay, split tone. So you pay attention here. So you can make it look like a shade of any color you can see. You can see what this does. So well, what I'm making use of is something like blue. So yeah. So I think we are okay with that. Then let's see what else. So it hasn't saved the changes. That's why it's still rolling, as you can see on the screen. So, okay, so it has saved the changes. Let's see what else can we still do here. Okay, no, this wouldn't work. No. So you play around with the edits here. Once you are satisfied with what you have, you also come here. There are also other light effects you can make use of. So you can make use of this. You have lots of light effects you can use. Or this. Okay, well, for the sake of this video, I think I would prefer to use this. So any other thing you're doing here is just to improve the look of the design as a whole. You're done with the major parts. So you're just editing it here. So once you are done with that, you're satisfied with what you have, you move on to share your design. You tap the share icon here. You tap on share. While it's loading, you tap on save to gallery. So it's still saving. So once, and here you have your design. So let's compare what we have. So from this is what we actually created on PixelLab. So this, you can see the difference. So that will be all in this video. If you found this video helpful, drop a comment, do like the video, and if you have any challenges or difficulty working on the video, you can reach out to me on WhatsApp. I'll put a link in the description box to send me a DM. You can also check my Instagram page. The description box will also contain the link. You can check there for more updates as I post helpful content and tips to help you as a smartphone designer. So that will be all for this video. Thanks for watching and see you next Friday.